to enhance lives through confident, healthy smiles. With state-of-the-art facilities, including digital dentistry labs and research centers, students are well positioned to achieve their career aspirations. The multidisciplinary training ensures students excel in a dynamic and impactful field.
I've had the perfect chance to have practical experience and work alongside the expert faculty. The hospital is a hub of clinical excellence which offers opportunities to work with the latest dental technology.
Nitte University is home to two distinguished engineering colleges located in Nitte and Bengaluru, fostering innovation, creativity and excellence. With advanced infrastructure, experienced faculty and a focus on practical advanced research, Nitte's engineering programs prepare students to tackle real-world challenges and drive meaningful progress. Nitte University also includes a polytechnic and an industrial training institute, providing industry-focused training that strengthens its technical education ecosystem. Nitte's architecture programs at Mangalore and Bengaluru strike a harmonious balance between creative design and sustainable practices. The planning and design programs focus on the development and aesthetic creation of spaces, cities, landscapes, and infrastructure. The management schools of Nitte University, located in Bengaluru and Nitte, blend academic rigor with industry relevance. Focused on innovation and leadership, Nitte University's management programs prepare students to excel in today's competitive business landscape.
Studying at Nitte University has been an enriching journey for me, both personally and professionally. The challenging curriculum, coupled with insights from industry expert faculties, has equipped me well with my leadership and team building skills. This in turn has helped me shape my career trajectory and prepare me well for the world of business.
Nitte School of Fashion Technology and Interior Design is a beacon of creativity and innovation. The school offers dynamic pedagogy, modern facilities, and industry collaborations, providing aspiring designers with a solid foundation. Students gain confidence to make their mark in the evolving fashion and interior design industries, whether exploring global trends or mastering design intricacies. Nitte Institute of Communication prepares students for the fast-paced world of media and communication. The programs span journalism, public relations, filmmaking, and advertising, fostering creativity and expertise. Nitte Institute of Physiotherapy blends the science of healing with the art of compassionate care. Focused on rehabilitation and wellness, the programs combine theoretical knowledge with hands-on clinical experience to transform lives. Nitte Usha Institute of Nursing Sciences nurtures skilled and dedicated healthcare professionals by providing clinical training at the 1,200-bed multi-specialty hospital on campus. Nitte's pharmacy colleges located in Mangalore and Bengaluru are committed to advancing excellence in pharmaceutical education, empowering students to become the next generation of leaders in the pharmaceutical industry. The diverse programs in biomedical science, microbiology, biotechnology, cancer biology, food safety and marine biotechnology offered at Nitte University Center for Science Education and Research emphasize One Health, advanced molecular techniques, and help students tackle critical global challenges in health. Nitte Institute of Speech and Hearing offers a comprehensive range of programs in audiology and speech-language pathology. The institute provides excellent facilities with fully equipped laboratories and clinical spaces that offer practical learning opportunities. Nitte Institute of Hospitality Services provides industry-relevant education that prepares students for successful careers in the dynamic travel and hospitality sector, combining academic excellence with practical training to nurture future leaders. Nitte University's degree colleges in Mangalore, Nitte and Bengaluru offer top-tier programs in aviation, management, computer applications and commerce, fostering a dynamic learning environment that nurtures talent and equips students for success. With 5 thriving schools across 3 campuses, Nitte paves the way for innovation, knowledge and limitless possibilities, empowering students to achieve their dreams and make a lasting impact. Nitte University takes pride in its modern hostels, world-class sports complexes and well-equipped gymnasiums. These facilities provide a balanced environment where students thrive academically, socially and physically.
The vibrant campus life at Nitte has made learning an unforgettable experience. From engaging in thought-provoking discussions to supporting our sports teams, there's always something exciting happening.
Experience a new age of learning. Experience Nitte, experience success.
Nitte University, where there is space for every dream.
Respectful welcome to this distinguished gathering. It's my proud privilege to welcome you to the Nitte Vinaya Hegde Oration 2026, organized by the Nitte deemed to be university and Nitte Education Trust. This gathering reflects a confluence of intellect, leadership and public spirit. This oration honors the legacy of Sri Nitte Vinaya Hegde, whose visionary leadership shaped institutions that have made enduring contributions to education and healthcare. This year's oration is centered on the theme VIKSIT Bharat, Vision for 2047. The true measure of an institution lies not only in the lives it touches today, but in the future it helps to shape. May I request you all present here to kindly keep your mobile phones in silent mode and maintain the decorum during the proceedings. As we are awaiting the arrival of our esteemed Honorable Union Finance Minister of India, Smt Nirmala Sitharaman, who will be delivering the first Nitte Vinaya Hegde Oration of 2026. I appreciate your cooperation in the running of this program. Thank you. Speaker of Karnataka Legislative Assembly, Sri U.T. Khadar. Honorable Member of Parliament, Captain Brijesh Chauta. Sri Vishal Hegde, Chancellor of Nitte, deemed to be Mangalore and is a B high-graded artist of All India Radio and whose performances have great recognition. She'll be rendering the poem Maitrim Bhajatam, which is a benediction composed in Sanskrit by Jagadguru Sri Chandra Shekaranarendra Swaraswati, renowned as Paramacharya of Kanchi. This beautiful, meaningful poem was rendered by Bharat Ratna M.S. Subbalakshmi at the United Nations on occasion of UN Day, which received a standing ovation. I invite Ms. Shreya to come forward. I request all of you to please be seated only.
स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
Thank you, Ms. Shreya. That was a serene invocation and which sends the message of global peace, compassion, friendship and brotherhood. May I request the Honorable Speaker of Karnataka's Legislative Assembly, Shri U.T. Kadar, to come onto the stage. Such moments remind us that all human endeavor is enriched and when guided by a higher sense of purpose. Great institutions are sustained not by structures alone, but by shared ideals. I now invite Sri Vishal Hegde, Chancellor of Nitte University, to deliver the welcome address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Nirmala Sitharaman ji, President of today's function, former Judge of Supreme Court of India and former Lokayukta, Santosh Hegde, Honorable Speaker of Karnataka Legislative Assembly and our local MLA, Mr. U.T. Kadar, our Member of Parliament, Captain Brijesh Chauta, Pro-Chancellor Nitte University, Dr. Shantaram Shetty, Vice Chancellor Dr. Muditaya, MLAs, government officials, invitees, family members, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to all of you on this very special occasion. The inaugural N. Vinaya Hegde Oration series, held in loving memory of our founder, Chancellor of Nitte University and Chairman of the Lamina Group of Companies, Mr. Nitte Vinaya Hegde. It is indeed a moment of great privilege for us that the Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji has graciously accepted our invitation to deliver the first oration. Madam, you come to us after an exceptionally demanding period, having steered the union budget and participated in an important session of Parliament. Mr. N.V. Hegde began his journey as an entrepreneur, founding the Lamina Group of Companies and went on to become a visionary social entrepreneur. When you agreed to speak on the economic theme VIKSIT Bharat for this oration, we felt it was the most fitting tribute to his life and work. On behalf of everyone who's gathered here, a very warm and cordial welcome to you, Madam. We have with us the senior member of our family, former Lokayukta and Judge of Supreme Court of India, Mr. Santosh Hegde. He's been a guide for all of us here at the university. A very warm welcome to you, sir. We are very honored to have with us Mr. U.T. Kadar, who has always been a steadfast well-wisher of Nitte University. As our local MLA, he has consistently supported us in all our endeavors for the last many years. A very warm welcome to you, sir. A very warm welcome to Captain Brijesh Chauta, who was instrumental in bringing the minister onto our campus. Captain Brijesh Chauta shared a very unique relationship with Mr. Hegde, and on the 3rd of April, on the 87th birth anniversary of Mr. N.V. Hegde, he shared a very touching photograph of him being blessed by Mr. Vinaya Hegde, reflecting the deep respect and affection he had for him. We warmly welcome you to our campus. A very warm welcome to the mentor and very respected Dr. Shantaram Shetty, Pro-Chancellor Nitte University. I also welcome Dr. M.S. Muditaya, Vice Chancellor Nitte University. A very warm welcome to the three MLAs, Bharat Shetty, Vedavyas Kamath and Mr. Guru Raj, who are here with us today. I would like to welcome each one of you who have accepted our invitation and are here with us today for this very first oration in memory of Mr. N. Vinaya Hegde. A very, very warm welcome to each one of you all who have gathered here today. A very warm welcome to the member of the press and you, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to take the next couple of minutes to briefly reflect on what Mr. N.V. Hegde contributed in his 5 decades of purposeful and impactful work for this region. On the 4th of January 1976, he founded Lamina Suspensions as a small-scale industry. It's deeply meaningful that just a few days when it would have marked his 50 years of professional journey, but as we all know, the divine has its own plans. 3 days short of his 50th journey as an entrepreneur, he was no more with us. His journey was extraordinary, establishing multiple companies, building 3 campuses, and creating opportunities through a wide range of academic programs. It is through Nitte that his vision found its most enduring and far-reaching expression. What began as a single institution way back has today grown into a vibrant educational ecosystem comprising of 30 institutions offering academic programs in a wide range of subjects, nurturing thousands of students every year across our 3 campuses. Through its university, colleges, and hospitals, Nitte has not only created opportunities for learning, but has also delivered quality healthcare and community service on a large scale. His belief was simple yet powerful, that education and healthcare must reach beyond cities and create meaningful impact where it is needed the most. Yet, what gave him the greatest joy was his service to society through the 21 rural medical and dental clinics he established, which have served lakhs of patients every year for decades, quietly transforming lives in communities that needed it the most. In truth, there is only so much that we can do to carry forward his legacy, because he's already built one so enduringly through the goodwill, respect, and affection of everyone whose lives he touched over nearly 50 years. Madam Nirmala Sitharaman ji, we never celebrated him during his lifetime because that is something he never preferred. But I'm certain that wherever he is today, he's watching this moment with quiet satisfaction. For us, he was not just a founder. He was the guiding force, a source of strength and constant reminder that success must always be accompanied by purpose. The oration is not just in his memory. It's a promise that what he built will continue to grow, a promise that his values will continue to guide us, a promise that his spirit will always remain a part of Nitte. As today we begin this journey, we could not have asked for a more meaningful and befitting person than Madam Nirmala Sitharaman ji to deliver the first address. With deep respect, I welcome each one of you all here today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. We now proceed with the felicitation of our distinguished guests. Felicitation is in our tradition not merely ceremonial, but it's an expression of collective respect. I invite Sri Vinaya Hegde to present floral bouquets and memoir of Sri Vinaya Hegde to our dignitaries. To begin with, to Madam inspires this oration. A legacy is not what one leaves behind, but what continues to grow because one once led. I invite Dr. M. Shantram Shetty, Pro-Chancellor of Nitte University, to speak on the life and contributions of Sri N. Vinaya Hegde.
Good evening. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Our esteemed presiding officer, former judge of the Supreme Court of India, our own Justice N. Santosh Hegde ji, our guest of honor, a pride of our nation, who have presented the annual budget continuously for 6 years. Chief guest, Madam Nirmala Sitharaman ji. Our Chancellor, dynamic Nitte Vinaya Hegde. Vice Chancellor, Dr. Muditaya. Guest of honor, our Speaker of the Karnataka Assembly, our own MLA for 6 continuous times from Mangalore South, Dr. U.T. Kadar. Again, our pride, a captain of yesteryears, perhaps one of the youngest members of the Parliament, Captain Brijesh Chowta. Family members led by Madam Sujata Hegde and elder brother of Mr. Vinaya Hegde, Captain Hegde. The galaxy of members of the Karnataka Assembly, invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed my privilege and a honor to place before you the life of a remarkable person, a person whom all of us admired, all of us loved, and many of us learned the life lessons from him as to how to live and let live, how to build and not to destroy, and how to overcome greed, how to overcome anger, jealousy and hatred, and how to encompass love and compassion. It is very difficult to describe a person like, multifaceted personality like Mr. Nitte Vinaya Hegde. The only words I could borrow was those words of immortal bard, that age cannot wither him, nor custom stale, he is an infinite variety. Indeed, Mr. Vinaya Hegde was an infinite variety. I had the unique opportunity, it was a God-given gift, that I had known him from school days. He and Justice Hegde were 2 to 3 years senior to us in St. Aloysius School. It was those days, they were our mentors. How they played, how they danced, how they talked, how they behaved, and even befriend ourselves was a true mentorship which we remember with gratitude. Both of them remain to be our role models, and their humility and friendship is ever known to us. Born as the second son of Justice K.S. Hegde and Madam Meenakshi Hegde, the governance and the justice aspect of Mr. Vinaya Hegde, he got it from his father. But every time he used to remember his mother, that whatever he was today, it was because of his mother. Because it was she who enthused him in every act of life. He firmly believed in Matru Deva Bhava, Acharya Deva Bhava, Atiti Deva Bhava, and he added on to it Rashtra Deva Bhava, and he believed in Vasudeva Vaikuntham. The whole world was one with him. It was his mother, when he was just coming up as an industrialist. Both husband and wife, after they retired, as a judge of the Supreme Court, imagine a judge after the retirement coming and settling down in a village which is just 3,000 population, without electricity, without potable water, without a primary health center. This was in 1970s. Seeing the plight of children without education and primary health care, he called her son and said, "Look here, you must start a school. You must start a primary health center in my village." What was started as a primary school, madam, it has bloomed to be one of the foremost universities in our country, with more than 43 institutions. In a medical school, 2 engineering colleges, and almost all professional colleges. What was started as a primary health center with a single doctor, today is a dynamic medical school with a 1,200 bedded hospital, where we undertake not only robotic surgery and every type of transplant, but the poor people, with all the government aid, we treat as many as 120,000 patients free of cost with our 22 peripheral centers in the country. This was the vision of Mr. Vinaya Hegde. He was a dreamer who would dream in the daylight and finish off his dream by the nightfall. He was a philanthropist, and I'm very happy to tell you, he brought in, adopted more than nearly 100 children from Northeast. Those were orphans. He educated them from the first class to the graduation, and all of them are spread in different parts of the country as great bread earners. This is an unique thing which he has done to these children. His aim was not to just produce doctors, not to just produce engineers or chartered accountants. His aim was to produce good citizens to this country, and that was his aim, which he has done it in literary. He was not only a karma yogi, he worked 10 hours a day, every day from morning 5. He was a jnana yogi who gave knowledge. He was a bhakti yogi who believed in God in every. He built 7 temples in different parts of our district and elsewhere. And he was a Raja yogi who lived his life with discipline, as our Chancellor was rightly telling. To celebrate his life, ladies and gentlemen, his family and the university thought it is befitting that we should have an oration in his name, so that he will be remembered for eternity and his legacy will be continued. We are beholden to you, madam, for the inaugural oration which you have agreed to address today, which shall be remembered for long. Thank you for being here. And the VIKSIT Bharat, which is all our dream, and the 2047 vision, we are all with you, and that was the dream of Nitte Vinaya Hegde. And finally, to quote these famous words of Father of Nation, which Mr. Vinaya Hegde every time used to mention, wealth without work is a futility. Wealth without work is a futility. Knowledge without character is dangerous. Science without humanity is of no avail at all. Wealth without work is dangerous. Religion without sacrifice is of no avail at all. Our Swamiji is here. And more than all, our politicians are here. Politics without principles is of no avail. Ladies and gentlemen, let us march forward very firm in our faith, sustained in our confidence in the will of God, and promise of men and women like you to lead this country to great heights. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Professor Shetty, for showing us what impact Sri Vinaya Hegde made in the lives of the people. Thank you, sir. A life in the service of justice lends moral authority to every word spoken. May I now invite Justician Santosh Hegde to deliver his address. May I now request Sri U.T. Khadar, Honorable Speaker of Karnataka Legislative Assembly, to address the gathering.
Chairman of today's function, retired Justice of the Supreme Court, Santosh Hegde ji, the keynote addressee of today's program, Minister for Finance and Government of India, Smt Nirmala Sitharaman ji, guests on the dais, our Lok Sabha member, Captain Bishop Jauta, the Chancellor of this institution, my friend Vishal Hegde, Dr. Shantam Shetty ji, and the Registrar, Dr. M.S. Munditaya, all the dignitaries of the dais, family members of our late Vinaya Hegde ji, and all the MLAs from my district, Guraj Ganti Hole, Vedvyas Kamath, Bharat Shetty, all the faculty and staff members and students of this institutions. I have come here not to talk, I have come to listen from Nirmala Sitharaman ji. And on behalf of the people of my constituency and of Karnataka, I heartily welcome Madam to our constituency. And I think today all are very much are eager to listen to your talk and to get the knowledge where they can be a good citizen of India in the days to come. I congratulate my friend Vishal Hegde. And it is our Dr. Santram Shetty said, Dr. Santram Shetty, Vinaya Hegde ji and something, they were classmates, college mates. Me and Vishal Hegde were also our same college, same school from St. Aloysius from 5th to 10th standard. And today I'm proud of him. On his dad's name, he has kept this orientation program. And this is every year you're going to do. And ultimately, the benefit will be people of this area where their knowledge will be updated, and each time one senior citizen, senior personality of this country comes and addresses the students and faculty members. Regarding Vinaya Hegde ji, I did not say anything because Dr. Shantam said everything, and I am very small in front of him to tell about him also, because he has got his different kind of qualities where each one has to learn from him. What I'd like to say is, if you want to know who is a true Indian human being, I can say Dr. Vinaya Hegde is a true Indian human being. If you want to explain who is a true Indian, I think you see all his qualities is education. VIKSIT Bharat is a good subject what you have taken. As we all know, see, development or progress, it is not a marathon. By 1 day, 2 days, 5 years, 10 years, it won't happen. It is a slow and steadily it has to come up. Today, every Indian should be proud of our country. We are much more ahead when you are compared to others. Because when we see other countries like America, maybe France, they are all 300, 400 years they have got the independence. It's their time. They have got in 200, 300 years. And their population also is less. And they have not been invaded so many times by other countries also. But India is not like that. And we are 140 crores of people. People live in tribes area, hill station, between the water, outside the ice. All this is there. And again, it is only 70 years or 75 years of independence what you have just got. And when India were freed, it was only 33 crores of the population. At that time, for this 33 crores people also, one-time food was not available. I knew because my father was an MLA. I used to know that no one used to get rice also. At the 1975, 76, no rice for the people of India. They used to get from the what were being rejected Godi, they used to get from America to the port and that had been distributed to the people. But now, not only 140 crores get 3-day meal, have got the capacity. India has capacity to export our agriculture system to other countries also within the short period. So every way, we are coming up day by day, and this should be given to the younger generation and the students of our country, that we should be proud of our country. The problem now is, we are no use. The psychologically, this feeling has come, no use. As soon as they get a certificate, they take the passport in one hand, and second hand they get a degree certificate, they go to other countries to work, because they think this is no use. But when they go out of country, only know India is much better to live in a better way after they go. I think we should, that for the younger, from school days only, we should see that every student should be there. Yes, if I'm correct and if I can work, India is the best place for me to be expend my days in the place to come. And I'm sure that many other things are there. So whatever the guidelines and suggestions we get for the better society, and we have to go together. And the biggest strength of India is the unity in diversity, and a united India will always flourish. That should be our main aim. I think so. Every good citizen become good citizen also one of the best force we can give to this country. So to a VIKSIT Bharat, every Indian is responsible, and every child of and student in this country also is responsible. When he has a good qualities and he becomes a good citizen of India, automatically India will be #1 in the world. To become a good citizen or to become a good human being or to become a good personality of our society, we need not go somewhere at search or go to Google, see what it is and do not to research. We have to see Vinaya Hegde ji and Santosh Hegde ji. See them, take the qualities where they have got, there should be qualities with us also, and that will make a perfect human beings in the society, which will be strength to India. Because he is retired judge of this country. All the ensure 20 to 30,000 students are there. Dr. Vinaya Hegde ji. But see, we always see their calmness and see their nature of talking to each and everyone, the politeness, how to solve the problem. These all should be taken by each and everyone. So we have to follow their footsteps. That is very much needed for us. Because now I see, if you become suddenly, because then you will be already calm man. If you become an MLA, he becomes a minister, and if something else, and they feel as if India is in their head only, and no one can, suddenly their nature only changes. So we have to see them having so much responsibility and so much wealth and so much that nature is very much for us, for each and everyone to follow. I think that is one of the best gifts given by your family to this society and this our country. So once again, I thank each and everyone. Once again, I welcome Nirmala Sitharaman ji. You have traveled from Mangalore city to our constituency by the vehicle. I think when you're coming, you just observe everything. If any changes I will do to improve my conscience, please suggest me. I will take in the 4 days, I'll take. Because even everyone will get one idea. Oh, it should have been like this. So any suggestion, please guide me. I'll take that suggestions forward and fulfill it. Thank you once again. Namaskar, Jai Hind.
Thank you, Sri Yutikadar sir, for your kind words. A man whose public life finds true meaning in public service. Now, leadership shaped by discipline and service brings clarity to public discourse. May I now invite Captain Brijesh Chauta, Honorable Member of Parliament, to share his thoughts.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಿಟ್ಟೆ ವಿನಯ ಹೆಗ್ಡೆ ಒರೇಷನ್ 2026 ಈ ವಿಶೇಷವಾದ ಸಮಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ವಿತ್ತ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟ್ ವ್ಯವಹಾರಗಳ ಸಚಿವರು, ಆತ್ಮೀಯರು, ಹಿರಿಯರು ಆಗಿರುವಂಥ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ನಿರ್ಮಲಾ ಸೀತಾರಾಮನ್ ಅವರೇ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಿಧಾನಸಭೆಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು, ಮಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಶಾಸಕರು ಆಗಿರುವಂಥ ಯುಟಿ ಖಾದರ್ ಅವರೇ, ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ಸಂತೋಷ್ ಹೆಗ್ಡೆ ಅವರೇ, ಶ್ರೀ ವಿಶಾಲ್ ಹೆಗ್ಡೆ ಅವರೇ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಮೂಡಿತಾಯ್ ಅವರೇ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಾಂತಾರಾಮ್ ಶೆಟ್ರೆ, ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮುಂಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಶಾಸಕರಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ವೇದವ್ಯಾಸ್ ಕಾಮತ್ ಅವರೇ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಭರತ್ ಶೆಟ್ರೆ, ಗುರುರಾಜ್ ಗಂಟಿಹೊಳೆ ಅವರೇ, ಪ್ರತಾಪ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ನಾಯ್ಕರೇ ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಸಭೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತರಿರುವಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಇವತ್ತು ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವಿನಯ್ ಹೆಗ್ಡೆ ಅವರ ಈ ಒರೇಷನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಸೂಕ್ತವಾದ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಬಂದು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನ ಆಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಸಮಸ್ತ ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಕನ್ನಡ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಜನರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಅವರನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಮಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಯಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. Ladies and gentlemen, we gather here today to not just remember a legend of man, but to sit for a moment with life that continues to move through all of us. Sri Nitte Vinaya Hegde was not someone who could define through positions, institutions or achievements he has achieved. I certainly, and of course you all, remember him through a feeling, through that smile, through the quiet assurance that here was a man who could have had anything but chose instead to build for others. ಬದುಕಿದ್ರೆ ಹೀಗೆ ಬದುಕಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಪ್ರಾಯಶಃ ನಿಟ್ಟೆ ವಿನಯ್ ಹೆಗ್ಡೆ ಅವರು ಆ ರೀತಿಯ ಬದುಕನ್ನು, ಆ ರೀತಿಯ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಬದುಕಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ನಾನಂತೂ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ಭಾವಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. Long before the vocabulary of corporate social responsibility entered our conversations, he had already internalized it as duty. For him, enterprise was never separate from empathy. Industry was never separate from people. That is why his work did not just create employment, it created possibility. Probably that is one of the reasons I call this region, Dakshina Kannada, Mangalore region, as an ocean of possibilities. He was one man who created or who explored that possibility 50 years back. There are countless homes where a meal has been placed on the table because he chose it to take responsibility. Lamina is much more than a name of an enterprise for a generation before ours. And he took responsibility with grace. He saw it as his role to ensure that others could stand on their own feet. I still remember 3 days after he left, Vishal Hegde shared the image of the foundation stone of Lamina, which was laid just 3 days later. Probably it would have been 50 years of his entrepreneurship journey. And in that sense, what he leaves behind is not just a legacy in the conventional sense. It is a living syllabus on how to build, how to lead, and how to trust people and expect them to rise. A life that tells us, dare to dream, and then dedicate yourself fully to realizing it. For many of us, his presence was deeply personal. His words of direction, his quiet encouragement, his trust, these are not small things. They stay and they guide. They remind you that you cannot afford to fall short of the faith placed in you. From completing the Sahasra Purna Chandra Darshana to living on a day as spiritually evocative as Kalpataru Day, for someone closely associated with Thakur's way of life and mission, there is certain completeness to his journey. In how he lived and in how he left, there is a sense of alignment, of a life lived in fullness. And perhaps That is why the thought of him, even now, does not bring only grief, it brings energy. It brings a certain restlessness to do more, to be more, and to build more. As we speak today of VIKSIT Bharat Vision 2047, it is important to recognize that such a vision cannot be achieved through policy alone. It requires individuals who think beyond themselves, who build institutions that outlast them, who create ecosystems where others can rise. In many ways, Sri Vinaya Hegde had already begun doing this long before the phrase became part of our national vocabulary. He stood firmly for every right cause and just as firmly with the right people. His instinct was always to recognize sincerity, to nurture it, and to give it strength. I remember going to seek his blessings just before my elections. The way he held me and looked into my eyes, it was not a formal gesture. It was a gaze of an elder whose blessings carried compassion, love, and an unspoken assurance. There was hope in that moment, and there was responsibility. That is who he was, someone who believed in goodness and expected you to rise to it. I am reminded of how our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji has spoken of AI not merely as artificial intelligence, but as all-inclusive, a vision anchored in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, a vision where development is not selective, but shared. In many ways, that spirit was already visible in the life of Sri Vinaya Hegde, in how he included, how he supported, and in how he built. I can say with this deep personal conviction, he strengthened my hands, he strengthened my resolve. And today I stand here with quite determination to devote myself to ensuring that I, my region, my state, and my nation will contribute meaningfully towards the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji's VIKSIT Bharat 2047. Because we owe it to people like Sri Vinaya Hegde who laid foundations strong enough for us to build upon. Ladies and gentlemen, it is therefore deeply fitting that this memorial lecture is being delivered by the Honorable Finance Minister, Smt Nirmala Sitharaman, as India's first full-time finance minister and someone who has given 9 budgets and also having served as the country's first full-time women defense minister and someone who has given us the Coast Guard Academy to Mangalore. She has carried immense responsibility with clarity and steadiness. For many of us, she also represents a form of leadership that engages and guides. In every interaction, she brings insight drawn from experience and a willingness to mentor and encourage. In that sense, she reflects the very spirit we remember today, of leadership that shapes people, not just outcomes. As we move forward, the most meaningful tribute we can offer Sri Vinaya Hegde is in continuity, to build with integrity, to support without seeking recognition, to believe in people before they believe in themselves, and above all, to live in a way that leaves behind not just structures, but strength in others. Because some lives are meant to be concluded, not concluded, they are meant to be carried forward. ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರಿರುವಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲರಲ್ಲೂ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅಪರೂಪದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಯೋಚನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥ ನಿಟ್ಟೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ವಿಶಾಲ್ ಹೆಗ್ಡೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅವರ ಇಡೀ ತಂಡಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಇದು ಕೇವಲ ನಿಟ್ಟೆ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಕರಾವಳಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ, ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಕನ್ನಡದ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ, ತುಳುನಾಡಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ವಿನಯ್ ಹೆಗ್ಡೆ ಅವರು ತುಳುನಾಡಿನ ಅಸ್ಮಿತೆಯನ್ನು, ತುಳುನಾಡಿನ ನೆಲದ ಸೊಗಡನ್ನು ಆ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಜೀವಂತಿಕೆಯಿಂದ ಜೀವಿಸಿ ತೋರಿಸುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಮಹಾನುಭಾವ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಟೇಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೋರಮ್ ಟು ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿನರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಟು ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ದೇಯರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್, their friends who have excelled in different walks of life, who are living in different parts of the country and different parts of the world, to come back to Uru and carry forward Dr. Vinaya Hegde's mission in spirit. Together, let's make it happen. Thank you once again. Thank you, Honorable Finance Minister, for coming to Mangalore, to coming to Nitte University, because we look forward to many big things to be given to this region to deliver our aspirations of this coastal Karnataka. I once again thank everybody for giving me an opportunity to speak. Thank you everybody. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Thank you very much, Captain Chota. Now, may I again request Justice N. Santosh Hegde to deliver his address.
Dignitaries in the dais, Smt Nirmala Sitharaman ji, who will be delivering the talk on VIKSIT Bharat Vision for 2047. Shri U.T. Kader, Honorable Speaker, Karnataka Legislative Assembly. Captain Brijesh Chowta, Honorable Member of the Parliament, and other MLAs present in the audience. Chancellor of Nitte Deemed University, Shri Vishal Hegde. The former Chancellor, Dr. M. Shantaram Shetty. Vice Chancellor, Dr. M.S. Mudithaya. Members of the teaching and non-teaching staff of the Deemed University. Other guests present here. You will pardon me for sitting down and talking because recently I had a setback in my health where the doctors have told me not to stand up and speak. I'm sure Mr. U.T. Kader is happy today, not because I'm speaking. The last time when I fell down, he took the trouble of taking me to the hospital and stayed there until the doctor said that nothing more will happen to him, at least on that day. Today, of course, the function is being held in the hospital, so he need not worry about it today. Well, I'm very happy to be present in this function. Vinaya Hegde and myself have been very close to each other, not only in our relationship, but also in our school days. We were together right up to the degree days and all. And I'm really proud of him, the way he has built his life and built the institution which he represented for all these years until he passed away recently, beginning of this year. I'm also very happy that for the topic of the day, VIKSIT Bharat Vision for 2047. I've heard of 5-year plans and all, but here is a plan which is for multiple decades. And I think is one of the most important actions that should be taken for the development of the country. And that can't be taken only by the administration or the governance. It should be taken with the help of the people, and help of the people can be gotten by holding functions like this and making the people understand what exactly is the object of the plan and how the plan will be working, and requesting the support of the citizens of this country for that plan. Then I'm sure a plan like this will succeed, I think. In that background, I congratulate the organizers for choosing this subject, which I am sure will be of great use to the future of the nation. I won't be talking too much and all. Thank you very much for listening to me. Again, good day.
We now arrive at the most significant moment of the evening, the Nitte Vinaya Hegde Oration 2026, and to introduce the orator, I now invite Captain Ganesh Karnik.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm and respectful welcome to this august gathering. It's my proud privilege and honor to extend a heartfelt welcome to our chief guest, Smt Nirmala Sitharaman, Honorable Union Finance Minister, who has graciously consented to deliver the inaugural Nitte Vinaya Hegde Oration 2026 on this significant occasion as we commemorate the birth anniversary of Nitte Vinaya Hegde, a visionary educationist, philanthropist, and the founding force behind Nitte Education Trust. Over several decades, Nitte Vinaya Hegde, a social entrepreneur, played a transformative role in building a network of premier educational institutions, healthcare institutions, and industry along coastal part of Karnataka, particularly in Mangalore and surrounding regions, thereby contributing immensely in his own capacity towards nation building. Madam, Your presence amidst us today adds immense grace, stature, and inspiration to all of us in Nitte family. We are sincerely grateful to you for your time, encouragement, and this significant oration. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a matter of great pride to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Smt Nirmala Sitharaman, Honorable Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, to this august audience. Smt Nirmala Sitharaman is one of India's most distinguished leaders and an eminent stateswoman. She currently serves as the Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs and holds the distinction of being India's first full-time women finance minister. With a distinguished career in public service, known for her articulate leadership and reform-oriented approach, she has played a pivotal role in steering India's economy through challenging global conditions and advancing the vision of a Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India. Smt Nirmala Sitharaman is widely respected for her integrity, intellect, and commitment to nation building. Born in Tamil Nadu, she completed her education in economics from Sita Lakshmi Ramaswamy College, Tiruchirappalli, and later earned her master's degree and MPhil from JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. Her academic grounding in economics has been a strong pillar in her illustrious career. Before entering active politics, she had a diverse professional journey, including her assignments with international organizations and as a senior manager in the corporate sector in the United Kingdom. Smt Nirmala Sitharaman served as a member of National Commission for Women between 2003 and 2005. She became a member of BJP National Executive in the year 2008, and since then she has been actively associated with drafting almost all of party's economic and political resolutions. She was appointed as the national spokesperson of BJP in 2010 and was widely respected for her well-researched and graceful articulation of the party's stand. During the Gujarat Assembly elections in 2012, Smt Sitharaman ji worked directly under the leadership of then Chief Minister of Gujarat, Sri Narendra Modi ji, wherein she was given the responsibility of organizing BJP's media campaign for the elections. After the historic victory of BJP in 2014 general elections, she was inducted into the Council of Ministers as Minister of State with independent charge for commerce and industry. She successfully contested the Rajya Sabha elections from Karnataka in 2016 and became an elected member of prestigious Rajya Sabha. Further, she was made the first full-time woman Defence Minister of India in 2017. After the landslide victory of BJP in the general elections of 2019, Smt Nirmala Sitharaman was made the Union Cabinet Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she was the minister in charge of the COVID-19 Economic Response Task Force. In 2022, she was re-elected as Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha from Karnataka, and continues to be our proud Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs. It is during her tenure as Finance Minister she made the entire nation proud by elevating our nation as the fourth largest economy in the world. As the Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, she has played a pivotal role in steering India's economy through challenging times, including the global pandemic, while advancing reforms in taxation, banking infrastructure, and digital economy. Her union budgets reflect a fine balance between growth, inclusivity, and fiscal prudence, leading India from Antyodaya to VIKSIT Bharat 2047, the dream of our beloved Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, as envisioned by Pandit Deen Dayal ji in his socio-economical and political doctrine known as integral humanism. Madam, your oration on VIKSIT Bharat Vision for 2047 is expected to provide deep insights into India's growth trajectory, policy priorities, and long-term national aspirations as the country approaches 100 years of its independence. Today, as we gather to celebrate the birth anniversary of our Sri Nitte Vinaya Hegde, a visionary educationist, philanthropist, and an institution builder, it is most befitting that a leader of your stature addresses this august gathering comprising of members of Nitte family, Nitte University, and the elite in and around Mangalore city. Sri Nitte Vinaya Hegde's contributions to education and society continue to inspire generations, and your distinguished presence during the inaugural oration today adds deeper meaning to this commemoration. Nitte Vinaya Hegde Oration is envisioned as an annual intellectual platform bringing together eminent leaders, policymakers, and thought leaders to deliberate on issues of national importance, thereby carrying forward the ideals and vision of Nitte Vinaya Hegde in nation building through his social entrepreneurship during the past 5 decades. Madam, on behalf of each one present here, I take this opportunity to extend our warmest greetings and best wishes to you in all your endeavors in realizing the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji in making India a VIKSIT Bharat. And hence, this significant inaugural oration of VIKSIT Bharat, Vision 2047, in fond memory of our beloved Nitte Vinaya Hegde. We are eagerly looking forward to your inaugural Nitte Vinaya Hegde Oration address, which we are certain will enlighten, inspire, and guide all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Smt Nirmala Sitharaman, our Honorable Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs. Dhanyavad. Jai Hind.
A developed nation is ultimately measured not just by the strength of its economy, but by the confidence and dignity of its people. This year's oration comes at a defining moment in our national journey. It speaks of an India that is globally competitive, digitally empowered, fiscally strong, and socially inclusive. It's my honor to invite Honorable Union Finance Minister and Corporate Affairs of India, Smt Nirmala Sitharaman, to deliver the Nitte Vinaya Hegde Oration 2026.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. My humble respects being paid to Nitte Vinaya Hegde. I'll go further to talk about it a bit later, but first let me address those dignitaries on the dais. Former Judge of the Supreme Court, Sri Santosh Hegde ji. Honorable Speaker of the Karnataka Legislative Assembly, U.T. Khadar ji. Member of Parliament, Dakshin Kannada, Brajesh Chauta ji, Captain. Chancellor of Nitte University, Sri Vishal Hegde ji. Pro-Chancellor Nitte University, Shantaram Shetty ji. VC of the Nitte University, Muditaya ji. Members of Legislative Assembly, 3-4 of them who are in that audience. Swamiji. Eminent citizens of Mangalore, media. I feel very humbled that you've chosen me to come and deliver the first Nitte Vinaya Hegde Oration. Speakers before me spoke fittingly and gloriously about the contribution of Vinaya Hegde, a multifaceted personality who believed in nationalism, who wanted our citizens to be responsible citizens. He just didn't sit and dream, he executed his dream through various educational institutions. To run an institution is one thing, but prior to that, to build one, especially with so many regulatory compliances that you have to follow, and to keep up that standard, is not a small thing at all. So to have a vision, to execute it, and above all, direction or a guidance given by his father, who himself had contributed so much to this country, is with the bar set high, trying to compete and achieve. And the kind of words I've heard about Sri Vinaya Hegde makes me feel that so much is dependent on each one of us to emulate the work that he's done. And I recall the words of Honorable Prime Minister on the Red Fort when he said about how VIKSIT Bharat is to be achieved with duties and responsibilities also, not just rights. So today our Indian citizens understand that it has got to be a massive yajna, like a very big activity which all of us will have to jointly undertake in building India to reach that level. And in that, each one of our contribution will be certainly important. And like one of the speakers, Captain, I think, said, much before VIKSIT Bharat became part of our language, our narration, our lexicon, by his action, Vinaya Hegde has actually shown what building nation is all about. Give good education. Bring education back to your towns. Get people to contribute towards the society. Make education and health available for all, affordable for all. And make sure your region is kept in mind as you build for India. These are all implicit messages when action of this nature is undertaken, and therefore any dedication or any celebratory word is mentioned about Vinaya Hegde, at least I will be conscious of every word because I would have to emulate that and live that kind of a life. Floral tribute is one thing, just verbal tribute is another, but to contribute a tribute to a person of this stature means that every word will have to be imbued into ourselves and take it forward. So it's a great, profound honor to deliver this Nitte Vinaya Hegde Oration 2026. Standing here in Mangalore, a land that symbolizes the blend of entrepreneurial spirit and deep-rooted values, I am reminded of the life of Sri Vinaya Hegde Avaru. He was a man who didn't just build institutions, he built futures. As a son of illustrious Justice K.S. Hegde, he could have rested in laurels, but he chose the tougher path of a pioneer transforming the educational opportunities in coastal Karnataka. I actually like the way Captain Brajesh Chauta, Honorable MP, said in Kannada. I may not be able to say it in exactly the same words. He said it's not only that he was a hero for the Karavali region, the coastal region, or for Mangalore, but he also became a hero, and also he contributed to the building of Karnataka and looked at the national level building. Am I right, Captain? You said something of that order. I think it is that which is the spirit of what Vinaya Hegde has done for this region. Not only Mangalore, not only Karavali, but also Karnataka and the nation building. And therefore it is a very significant contribution, beginning from his own native village. So he chose the tougher path of a pioneer, transforming the educational opportunities in coastal Karnataka. Nitte, deemed to be university, which he helped build into a symbol of excellence in this region, stands as his most eloquent memorial. I congratulate this university for keeping his legacy alive through this oration. Today, I speak on a theme that is not merely aspirational, but civilizational in its scope. VIKSIT BHARAT for 2047 is not a slogan at all. And just for us to juggle our memory a bit, it's not too far away. 2047 is not at all too far away. When we speak of 1947 and say, oh my God, 75, 80 years ago we got independence. But when you talk of 2047, it's just 20 years from now. Add one more year if you want. Just 20 years. So we have a huge amount of work to be done with all of us to contribute. So it's not a slogan, it's a national resolve. It is indeed India's tryst with destiny, renewed, reimagined and re-energized. The transformation towards VIKSIT BHARAT 2047 rests on structural reforms, human capital and institutional excellence. Before I speak of India's future, allow me to honor the city's past, because it is from the roots of such places that the tree of VIKSIT BHARAT shall draw its deepest nourishment. There's no place more fitting to discuss the resurgence of India than here in Mangalore. Mangalore is not just a port, it's a civilizational bridge from the Gangas of Talakadu and the Kadambas of Vaijayantipura to the mighty Chalukyas of Badami and the Hoysalas of Dwarasamudra. Mangaluru flourished as a crucible of dynasties, a center of refined culture and maritime prowess. Roman merchant ships would anchor off these shores to load their hulls with the most precious commodities known to the ancient world, black pepper, Yavana Priya, the black gold of antiquity, cardamom, cinnamon, turmeric, teak, sandalwood and gems. Roman historian Pliny lamented in his 1st century CE, that is, the centuries that we are living in, that India was draining the Roman treasury every year. Think of that for a moment. 2000 years ago, this coastline was the commercial nerve of the globe. The wealth of this region was so legendary that Greek and Roman merchants would risk their lives to reach these shores faster. The Chennakeshava temple in Beluru, the Hoysaleshwara temple in Halabedu, if you have actually ever stood before these temples and watched the afternoon sun play upon their intricately carved surfaces, you will understand what I mean when I say that India has always been a civilization of superlatives. And then came, of course, the glory of Vijayanagara, perhaps the greatest empire of the medieval age, whose capital Hampi was described by Domingo Pes, the Portuguese traveler, who visited 1520 as a city as large as Rome and a very beautiful sight to behold. So the story of Mangalore is in many ways the story of India, a story of resilience, a story of openness, a story of aspiration, and Mangalore today represents the seamless blend of tradition and modernity. And it actually reminds us that India's journey of becoming developed is not built, it's not so much about imitation, it is about rediscovery. Rediscovering our strengths, rediscovering our confidence, and rediscovering our place in the world. So it's a continuation of a journey that took place here on this very coast 2000 years ago onwards. So there are moments in the life of a nation when ambition must rise to meet destiny, when vision must transcend policy, and purpose must transcend politics. Today, as we gather here to reflect upon VIKSIT BHARAT 2047, we are not merely discussing an economy milestone, but we are articulating a civilizational aspiration. India is the oldest continuous civilization on earth. We gave the intellectual contribution that form the bedrock of modern civilization. We were, for most of recorded in history, the world's largest economy. I think we should repeat that sentence and believe in it. We were, for the most part of recorded history, the world's largest economy. And when I say this, I actually have goosebumps. At a time when we are talking about VIKSIT Bharat, at a time when we are recalling about our glorious past, and of course not so glorious past as well, the urge, and I would again go back to that Red Fort speech of the Honorable Prime Minister, the urge should be to get out of a colonial mindset. The urge is to believe in our glorious past. The urge is also to believe in our own youth and their capacities. And the urge should be to believe in us. Our own epics tell us that when a solid contribution is made or is being made, when you have people around you who are naysayers, the psychological play that it can have on people who can achieve things is so critical that it can undermine the very objective with which you're moving. You know, the Shalya episode in Mahabharata repeatedly tells you how even an able soldier, a master of archery, just becomes helpless because this man goes on telling you, you're useless, you can't do this, you can't achieve this, what are you trying? Whereas he was the best of the students to his guru, but he couldn't. So if the urge has to be to build, to remember the past, to build with your youth, the youth who have that skill and the potential for entrepreneurship, which is what Vinaya Hegde is all about. If you have naysayers around you, it is now not just being an entrepreneur, it is now not just being a citizen to build our India, and it is now not just being, wanting to aspire to be there. It is also to learn to just become deaf when these naysayers are around you. And it is almost sometimes making me feel, is it deliberate to undermine India from growing? We should keep ourselves wary of such a development. So India is I would want to underline this fact, India is the oldest continuous civilization on earth. We gave the intellectual contributions that form the bedrock of modern civilization. We were, for most of recorded history, and I repeat, the world's largest economy. When Sri Lord Rama, after 14 years of exile, stood at the shores of the ocean, the eastern side, and prepared to return to Ayodhya, he uttered these immortal words to Lakshmana. Janani janma bhumischa swargadapi gariyasi. Mother and motherland are greater even than heaven. It's Sri Rama's words. And that's what Vinaya Hegde has done. He's come back to his own place, built it up, and built it with a vision. And therefore, that's where you feel, whether he repeats these words of Sri Rama, or whether each one of us repeat these words of Rama, it is in our DNA. It is for us to build. And periodically we have great men and women who give us that message back again. If Rama did it, here you have Vinaya who's given the same thing. Work for our country. There's nothing better than that as a heaven. And therefore, each one of us will have to contribute to VIKSIT Bharat. VIKSIT Bharat, a developed India by 2047, the centenary of our independence, is not a political slogan, as I said earlier. It conceived in a meeting room in Delhi? No, it is not. It is the living expression of this ancient obligation that we shall remember our motherland. We shall dedicate ourselves for our motherland. We shall contribute to our motherland. And every citizen, therefore, like the way Nitte aims, every citizen should be that particular individual who contributes to India's growth. So let's be honest about the weight of that question, that it is a living expression of this ancient obligation. In 1700 CE, the Common Era, India's share of global GDP was about approximately 24%. China's was approximately 22%. Then came colonialism, 1947, when we finally achieved independence. India's share of the world GDP had fallen to less than 4%. Where is 24 and where is 1947, where we contributed just 4%? 200 years of colonial rule had not merely impoverished us. The destruction was as much as of the spirit as of the economy. And that is why when I added the naysayers and their contribution to not moving forward, it is this which is completely, the spirit was the one which was shattered during colonialism, that you may not be able to move forward. And that is that colonial mindset which we need to get out. So the first 7 decades of independence were spent rebuilding with great difficulty, with great debates, and with many errors, but also with moments of magnificent achievements. We are no longer sleeping. India is awake. It's a truth. India is awake and it's moving forward. And when India is awake, the world takes notice. Today, we are the world's fastest growing major economy. We are the nation that has 1.4 billion people, a median age of 28 years. What a youthful country. So much is lying in the hands of our youth. So everything that we do will have to have a bearing on them, a positive bearing on them. The world's largest educated workforce is here, and an ancient entrepreneurial spirit that no colonial interlude could extinguish. Now, as we approach the centenary of our independence, 2047, we face a choice. We can grow at the pace of the ordinary. We can allow the middle income trap to stall our movement of progress, as it has stalled so many developing nations. Or we can choose the extraordinary. We can choose to be among the top, among world's top economies. We can choose to give every Indian child clean water, good quality education, affordable health care, and a shot at prosperity. That's the choice for VIKSIT Bharat. And it is for us to make. Nobody is compelling us. So where do we stand factually? I'll just give you a few data. These are hard facts. IMF projects India's GDP to grow at 6.5%, 2027. That's of FY, making it the fastest growing major economy in the world for many consecutive years. Over 25 crore Indians have been lifted out of multidimensional poverty between 2013-14 and 22-23. One of the most remarkable poverty reduction achievements in human history. India's forex, thank you, that can be loud, it's all our efforts. India's forex reserves stood at over 700 billion, among the highest in the world and sufficient to cover about 11 months of our imports. India's digital public infrastructure, the JAM Trinity, enabled direct benefit transfers of 50 lakh crores, saving the government 4.31 lakh crores in leakages. We could stop the leakages of 4.31 lakh crores. India's unified payment interface, the platform, processed over, just listen to this number, it astonishes a lot of my overseas listeners, and I'm sure it will astonish us as well. We processed, the UPI platform processed over 241 billion transactions annually. Billion. with a value exceeding 314 lakh crores in 25-26 alone. India accounts for 49% of all real-time digital payment transactions globally. And India is the world's third largest startup ecosystem with over 2 lakh DPIIT recognized startups, including over 100 unicorns. India's renewable energy capacity stands nearly at 280 gigawatts, making it the world's third largest in renewable energy capacity. PM Awas Yojana has delivered over 4 crore affordable homes to the poor, with sanitation coverage rising from 39% in 2014 to 100% under Swachh Bharat Yojana. PM Kisan has provided direct income support to nearly 9.5 crore farmer families, with over 4.27 lakh crores transferred directly to their accounts. The number of IITs has grown from 7 in 2014 to 23 today. Universities from 723 then to over 1,100 today. There were 7 aims in 2014, now you have 22 of them. So representing an unprecedented expansion of higher education institutions. All this is only government. Simultaneously in India, there's an education revolution happening in Nitte-like institutions, really standing out to showcase how much India can achieve. India's infrastructure outlay, sometimes many of the developing, emerging market economies ask me, is this real? Is this number real? And I said, you can look into the Controller and Auditor General's accounts. India's infrastructure outlay has been brilliant, has shown 6 times growth in a decade from 1.9 lakh crore in 2013-14 to 12.2 lakh crore in 26-27. 12.2 lakh crore, largely borrowed, but borrowed to build assets. So India's successful science revolution conducted the Chandrayaan-3 mission, becoming the first country to land near the lunar South Pole, and has approved the Gaganyaan human spaceflight program, cementing its status as a space power. So these are not isolated achievements. And why do I have to talk about these achievements now when you've asked me to speak on what is VIKSIT Bharat? They are the building blocks of a systemic transformation that is happening at a rapid pace. And without this brick layer, the foundational layer, some at higher level, some on a slightly lower level, we will not be able to understand how fast and how much scaling up can be done for 2047. So these are not isolated. And yet, we must not mistake progress for completion of projects. That's not just the story. A developing India cannot be a final destination. VIKSIT Bharat must be. Why? Because aspirations have changed. Young Indians today do not dream of subsistence. That young lady in the street, even as she's busy with her phone, walking to her college or anywhere else, dreams of excellence. She seeks quality education, world-class healthcare, meaningful employment, and a clean environment. Now, I'm specifying each one of these because these are the goals for my VIKSIT Bharat. That's the dream of the young girl. She wants to compete globally and succeed confidently because in a rapidly changing global order, economic strength is the bedrock of strategic autonomy. But VIKSIT Bharat is not about GDP numbers. VIKSIT Bharat is about something far grander, far more human. It's about Krishika, the farmer in Kalyana, Karnataka, whose future is assured. It's about the girl in a village in Raichur district who should be able to dream of becoming a scientist, a judge, without anyone telling her that her geography or her gender is her destiny. It's about Mugavira fishermen on the Udupi coast whose ancestors traded with Rome, who should have access to cold storage, the digital market, the insurance, and the respect that his ancient profession deserves. It's about tribal youth in the forests of Dandakaranya, whose community has stewarded India's biodiversity for thousands of years, and finally having a seat at the table of prosperity without surrendering one's identity. So, momentum of the past decade must continue. I'm now coming to the key elements of what makes for VIKSIT Bharat. The momentum of the past decade must continue, such as investment in infrastructure, expanding digital public goods, more financial inclusion, simple taxation laws, improved direct benefit delivery, and a transparent framework for public expenditure. We need healthy balance sheets of banks and corporates, resilient domestic demand, and even greater role of private sector and entrepreneurs. We must build a fast-growing India where every young person feels that hard work can lead to a better life. We reform, and the reform agenda must also continue. Government should be an enabler, not a roadblock. We should move away from controlling people to supporting people. Good infrastructure changes lives. Roads, railways, airports, ports, internet, power, public transport, schools, hospitals. Connect people to opportunity. When goods and people move faster, businesses grow. When villages and small towns are connected, young people do not have to leave everything behind to dream big. I understand Captain Chowta is running a campaign saying, "Come back to Namma Uru." Am I right? Which is what Vinaya Hegde has done, and which is what this region is known for. And that is the connectivity advantage. Once your infrastructure takes you to the last mile, reaches your villages, coming back to Namma Uru won't be difficult. But that's part of the aim of the travel towards VIKSIT Bharat. Manufacturing, again, an entrepreneur who turned to become a philanthropist and educationist. I'm standing on that platform, celebrating his achievements and saying, manufacturing creates steady jobs and national resilience. To compete globally, Make in India must mean high quality and efficiency. We cannot become developed by just buying things from others. We have to build them here in India and be Atmanirbhar. Therefore, we are making it easier for MSMEs and manufacturing companies to grow by fixing logistics, lowering costs, and ensuring that there is ease of doing business. I spoke about youth. Repeatedly I said our youth need they need good education, public health and so on. Particularly women are the drivers of VIKSIT Bharat 2047. Young Indians need good education, practical skills, jobs, startup opportunities, and confidence. VIKSIT Bharat will not be built by treating women and youth as beneficiaries. We cannot patronize them. We need to support them. It will be built when they lead us. That is why we brought Nari Shakti Vandan Adhinayam in April to ensure more women become leaders without delay. Unfortunately, for some political parties, They chose to block the fast tracking of these rights in Parliament. They even celebrated the non-passing of the amendment, which hurt me, and I couldn't have words to say there. It was so shocking that they could deny this fast-tracked empowerment of women. Technology and AI must solve real Indian problems. They should help students, doctors, teachers, courts, small businesses and workers. India should not simply use technology built for someone else's priorities. We must build technology that speaks our languages, understands our society, and protect people's rights. Innovation must be bold, but also safe and responsible. We are in peak summer, and every time anyone living in this region would say it's getting worse every year. India must grow, but it must grow responsibly. Clean energy, public transport, water security, waste management, green jobs and climate resilient farming are all part of our future. But climate action must be fair. Poor families and developing countries cannot be asked to carry unfair burden. VIKSIT Bharat must be Green Bharat, Practical Bharat, Competitive Bharat, and Just Bharat. Our constitution and laws serve as a guide, but a great nation needs more than just laws. It needs character. It was so good when I heard one of our earlier speakers tell as to how character building, responsibility, and also commitment towards the nation were part of the vision of Vinaya Hegde. And that is why in his part of, building good citizens, he had made a lot of attempts. I think it is very important that great nation needs more than just laws, it needs character. Rights always come with responsibilities. We need a society that values facts over noise, honesty over shortcuts, and service over entitlement. Our character, hard work, and unity will decide on how India rises. The nation cannot lead the world by copying others. India does not have to choose between technology and tradition. It should balance both. Yoga, Sanskrit, regional languages, festivals, crafts, cinema, music, design, digital art, and creative industries are part of India's soft power. VIKSIT Bharat must be modern in infrastructure, confident in innovation, and deeply rooted in values. The world must respect not only India's economic strength, but India's story. And that's the story which attracts a lot of people. Even now, we should strengthen it. The Rig Veda extols, Krinvanto Vishwam Aryam. Let us make the whole world noble. I hope no interpretative differences arise in who's Arya, who's not. Krinvanto Vishwam Aryam is let us make the whole world noble. India is no longer standing on the sidelines of global affairs. We are helping shape solutions on trade, technology, climate, security, health, supply chains, and development. Vishwamitra means being a trusted partner while putting India's interests first. And you would recall, even as I say this, that that's exactly what is happening in this year, in the last year, in the coming year, I would think, in the light of the global VUCA, as they say, volatility, uncertainty, and all the variants of unpredictability which is there. So we are putting our interest above all and making sure Indians don't suffer for want of something, even if it is a matter which we import 100%. So Prime Minister and the Government of India are making sure that Indians put India's interest on the top and not get agitated on any issue. So Vishwamitra means being a trusted partner while putting India's interests first. And in doing this, we are not forgetting our immediate neighborhood. We are helping, we are making sure that our immediate neighborhood, particularly those landlocked countries, are taken care of. And some of them, even if they are not landlocked, if they have requests to make, we are standing by them, not as a big brother, but making sure that our neighborhood is looked at as a Vishwamitra. We stand as their friend. So a VIKSIT Bharat must have the confidence to work with the world. VIKSIT Bharat should have the confidence, speak for the global south, protect its citizens, and help write the rules that will shape the future. So you've been very patient. I'm coming to my conclusion. We have 900 million people under the age of 35, which is 65% of our population. This is the largest concentration of young human potential in the history of our species. This is a line again I would want you all to grasp in its fullest importance. We have 900 million people under the age of 35, which is 65% of our population, and this is the largest concentration of young human potential in the history of our species. These young people are watching. These young people are watching us. They are impatient. They are ambitious. They have dreams in their hearts. When India is strong, peace is more likely. When India is prosperous, global supply chains are more resilient. When India leads, the world has a model of development that is not extractive. This is very important. When India leads, the world has a model of development that is not extractive, not colonial, not zero-sum. We don't kill the neighbor and, balance it all off like that. No, not zero-sum, but rooted in the oldest wisdom of our traditions, about which we had others speak. That true wealth is shared wealth. The true wealth is shared wealth. And that's the beginning that I started off by saying Vinaya Hegde could have just sat down and enjoyed the prosperity that his father had given him, that his brothers are all supportive of him. No, but he decided to make sure that he would contribute to the society, to nation building. And that's the message. So that true wealth is shared wealth. And this is why VIKSIT Bharat is not just India's goal, it is humanity's opportunity. A developed, stable, democratic, pluralistic India, the world's largest democracy, a civilizational bridge between East and West, between the global North and the global South, is not just good for India, it is a good thing for the entire planet. VIKSIT Bharat is not the responsibility of government alone. It is a national partnership between the union, the states, the local governments, entrepreneurs, industry, academia, professionals, civil society, and every citizen. Government can build the platform, but the energy, the ideas, and the discipline of 140 crore Indians will build the VIKSIT Bharat and will build the nation. Vande Mataram. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Madam, for an insightful and inspiring oration. A thought guided by experience and expressed with such clarity. Your exposition, VIKSIT Bharat Vision 2047, has instilled clarity, confidence, and a sense of collective purpose and understanding the direction in which our nation is moving. Now, may I request our Chancellor, Sri Vinaya Hegde, to proceed and issue mementos. These mementos, though modest, carry our deep gratitude and respect. Now, I will request them to hand over the memento to Honorable Smt Nirmala Sitharaman. University, Dr. M.S. Muditaya, to propose the vote of thanks.
Very good evening to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. President of this very special event for all of us, Honorable Justician Santosh Hegde, Honorable Chief Guest, Smt Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Guest of Honor, Sri U.T. Khader, Captain Brijesh Chauta, our beloved Chancellor, Sri Vishal Hegde, Pro-Chancellor, Dr. Shantaram Shetty, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this momentous occasion of the Nitte Vinaya Hegde Oration 2026. At the very outset, I extend our deepest gratitude to our esteemed orator, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, Honorable Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, for delivering a truly enlightening and thought-provoking oration on VIKSIT Bharat, Vision for 2047. Madam, I'm a finance professor. I thoroughly enjoyed your presentation. Your address was a true tribute to our founder, Chancellor Sri Nitte Vinaya Hegde, with the remarkable blend of clarity, conviction, and vision. With your vast experience in governance and economic leadership, you presented a roadmap that is not only intellectually stimulating, but also deeply inspiring. Your ability to connect policy with people and vision with action has left a lasting impression on all of us. Your insights have not only given us much to reflect upon, but have also instilled in us a sense of responsibility towards building a stronger and self-reliant India. Thank you, Madam, for your inspiring oration. We are profoundly honored by the presence of our President of the function, Justician Santosh Hegde, whose guidance and stature have added immense dignity to this event. Thank you so much, sir. I extend sincere thanks to our own guest of honor, Sri U.T. Khader, Honorable Speaker, Karnataka Legislative Assembly, for his presence and encouraging words on this occasion. Thank you, sir. We are grateful to Captain Brijesh Chauta, Honorable Member of Parliament of Dakshin Kannada, for gracing this occasion, and most importantly, Dr. Chauta, helping us all through from design to delivery of this special event. Thank you so much. Our heartfelt appreciation goes to our own beloved Chancellor, Sri Vishal Hegde, Honorable Pro-Chancellor, Dr. Shantaram Shetty, and all the trustees of Nitte Education Trust who are present here for their visionary leadership and continued support in making such intellectual engagements possible in the university. I extend my thanks to Srimati Sujata Vinaya Hegde, Captain Prasanna Hegde, and all the members of our Chancellor Sri Vishal Hegde's family, members of the Karnataka Legislative Assembly, members of the Karnataka Legislative Council, many former and current vice chancellors and directors are here, and the leaders of industry and academia are here, members of the local government are here, eminent bankers are here, members and office bearers of organizations like Canara Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, and District Administration. I thank you for your presence in this great occasion. I would like to acknowledge with gratitude the efforts of our organizing committee, teaching and non-teaching staff, and students whose meticulous planning ensured the smooth conduct of this program. A special word of thanks to all the media representatives and participants who have joined us today and contributed to the success of this event. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I once again thank each one of you for your gracious presence and active participation. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. As we conclude, may the spirit of this evening continue to inspire thought, service, and purposeful action. May I request all of you to please rise for the national anthem.
Janagana mana adhinayaka jaya he Bharat bhagya vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladhi Taranga तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, everybody. We request all to remain at their place as we have the dignitaries leave the auditorium.